In this video, we will be talking about the importance of date marking for ensuring your food is safe. Did you know that no matter how careful you are with your food, it could still contain harmful bacteria that could make your patrons sick? Harmful bacteria can come from anywhere and sometimes may be present in the food you prepare or receive from your purveyor. There is a particularly dangerous bacteria called Listeria monocytogenes, or Listeria for short, that loves cold temperatures and can multiply even in the refrigerator. So what's a person in charge to do to keep their patrons safe? Well, that's where date marking comes in. It's the crucial step to making sure Listeria does not have the opportunity to multiply in your cold TCS, or time temperature control for safety foods. Although Listeria is common in commercially processed foods such as deli meats, soft cheeses, hot dogs, and salads, these bacteria could also be found in any foods prepared in your establishment. And because it takes a little time for bacteria to grow, limiting this time becomes a good way to control this harmful pathogen. That's why date marking is required for all cold TCS foods which are ready to eat. You will need to date label these foods on the day they are prepared, or if the product is a commercially prepared, prepackaged food, you must use the date the package is opened. This is to ensure these foods are served or discarded within 7 days to prevent the growth of Listeria. That sounds simple enough, doesn't it? However, sometimes there are tricky situations, such as combining pre-cooked products or freezing products that require date labeling. So let's explore this further with some examples. First, we'll cover the simplest scenario. Consider a package of commercially processed deli meat. You are required to put the date on the product once you open the package. For example, if you open the package on the first day of April, you will label the package with 0401 or April 1st. This means that you must serve or discard the product by April 7th. The day you open the package is day 1 of 7 days, and so on. You could even label with a discard date if you wish, but make sure to train your employees to implement your process properly. It is always recommended to write down your instructions for training purposes so your employees can use these standard operating procedures as a reference. Okay, now for the second example that is a little more complicated. Let's say we open the deli meat on April 1st, but cut it up to use in pasta salad that is prepared on April 2nd. It is crucial to label the pasta salad with the date the deli meat was opened. In other words, you are required to label the pasta salad with the April 1st date, even though the salad was put together on April 2nd. You must always use the date of the product opened, as in this case, or prepared first. Now that you've labeled your pasta salad properly, you will need to use or discard the salad by April 7th. Let's move on to a more complex situation where a product such as a pan of lasagna was prepared and date labeled on April 1st, but then placed in the freezer on April 2nd to be used the following week. When the lasagna comes out of the freezer, you must place a new label on the product indicating the day it was taken from the freezer. However, you must serve or discard within 5 days, since 2 of the 7 days were used prior to freezing. In this example, let's say the lasagna is taken out of the freezer and placed in the walk-in on April 9th. It must therefore be served or discarded by April 13th. 5 days after being thawed in the walk-in. Because you need to remember it was prepared on the 1st and placed in the freezer on the 2nd, which is a total of 2 days prior to freezing. Freezing stops the clock but doesn't eliminate the 2 previous days. Therefore, it is the total of 7 days. Another point to consider: make sure you label any products that are transferred into smaller containers and placed in other refrigerated units, such as prep tables and reach-ins. This will help ensure the food will not remain past the 7 days of preparation. Moreover, you must always be aware to serve or use a product by the manufacturer's use-by date. Your in-house label does not supersede the use-by date, which is based on food safety. Now that we understand how to properly date label your cold, ready-to-eat TCS foods, let's talk about some exemptions from this rule. The primary exemption to date marking is for any foods which will be served or discarded within 24 hours of preparation or opening because Listeria will not have enough time to grow. Furthermore, there are some commercially prepared products that are treated specifically to prevent the growth of Listeria, such as deli, potato, and macaroni salads. Some hard and semi-soft cheeses will not support the growth of Listeria either. Therefore, these products will not require date labeling. Shelf-stable Genoa salami, pepperoni, and prosciutto may be exempt too. For more information, you can ask your local health inspector to help you determine which products are exempt from date labeling. You can also learn more about TCS foods by watching our video, What are TCS Foods? And as always, remember that food safety starts with you, so be well, serve safely, and thanks for watching.